Get ready with me to tell you a fucked up story. So, I haven't seen my kids in 2 years, and their father, the one that isn't letting me see them, actually lurks my profile on TikTok. He is always on my people who have viewed my profile list, and so is his wife. But yet they refuse to talk to me. Every time I message him, he doesn't respond. I've been trying to message him for like a year and a half. He doesn't respond. But yet he lurks all of my social media. So if you want to see me that bad, just talk to me, you know? Um, but yeah, it all started with I had postpartum psychosis. Um, when my oldest son was 18 months old, I started experiencing some mental health issues. I had never had mental health issues before besides depression while I was pregnant and just throughout like maybe high school, just like mild depression. Nothing that I would consider like super crazy. And I never had any psychosis, anything like that. So, that happened. I thought I was going to be fine. And then, I recovered from that and I decided to have another baby, like 4 years later. And I thought I was going to be okay because I was really taking care of my health. But I had another psychotic episode when my second child was 6 months old. And I suck at doing my eyebrows, but whatever. Well, I fucked it up. I was exclusively breastfeeding. My son wouldn't take a bottle, so the whole time I was in the mental hospital, he was being fed with a spoon, and it was really sad. I was really suffering in that mental hospital, just thinking about my son not being able to be fed. 3 days later, I think it was, when he finally took a bottle, and he, was okay after that. We bottle fed him, and it was okay. But while I was in and out of the mental hospital when he was 6 months old, when I had that breakdown, and while I was in one of the shittiest mental hospitals in Palm Beach County, I find out that I'm pregnant with my third child. So I considered having an abortion. Thank God I didn't, because my daughter is here, and I love her very much. But yeah, it was crazy. After my whole pregnancy was really nice. Me and my ex-husband were, on the verge of divorce when my son was 6 months old. But once he found out that I was pregnant again, he stayed with me, and obviously, he knew that was his daughter. I never cheated on him or anything like that. So we had a beautiful pregnancy and a beautiful birth. I had a home birth. And after 2 months, lo and behold, I have a psychotic episode and I have postpartum psychosis again. I tried to get it together. They put me on some medication. I gained a bunch of weight. And when my daughter was like 9 months old, so I was still recovering from all this. My ex-husband, I find out, was cheating on me with, he was in the army and he was cheating on me with a female soldier. It was heartbreaking. I left him. After I left him, he wouldn't let me back in the house, but I was still seeing the kids because I was trying to get back together with him after I left him. I was still seeing the kids, but there was always this conspiracy. Like, one of the reasons I had mental health issues was because I always felt like his family wanted to take my kids away, and they ended up doing that. So, and for no reason. I was never into drugs. I never cheated on him. They just didn't like me. So, and they were crazy. So they just, wanted the kids all for themselves, and they wanted me out of their lives. I tried to get it together. I even got an apartment. I was a single mom for like 3 or 4 months, and then I just quit my job because I had never had a full-time job before, and it was really stressful, and my boss was crazy, and I decided to quit my job. It was a huge mistake because After that, we got into a huge, you know, actually we didn't even get into an argument. It was like, I don't remember what happened, but somebody called DCF. To this day I don't know who it was, but clearly if there's a family trying to take kids away from the mom, it's probably them, you know? There was no reason to call DCF. I never hurt my kids, but yeah, I ended up being put in civil resuscitation for a year. It ended up being 2 years because of the courts, and it was horrible. It was like my worst nightmare, but it only got worse because after I actually regained custody of my kids, and I have shared custody to this day, I haven't lost custody of them. He decided in September 2021 that he wasn't going to let me see my kids again, you know, breaking the court. Or he did put a petition in court to not let me see them again, but it was denied. So legally, he's supposed to let me see my kids. But ever since September 2021, that was the last time I saw them. And even though I'm supposed to get a psychological evaluation before I see the kids, because that was one of the conditions, which is ridiculous because I don't need one. But I, you know, have passed several psychological evaluations, and I keep asking him. He doesn't respond to any of my messages, but yet he lurks on my social media. He doesn't respond to any of my messages, and and he, against the court orders, against the courts, he doesn't let me see my kids. So yeah, yeah, I just want to know what the hell's going on. But whatever, you know, it's not whatever because I miss my kids, but I just wanted to let the world know this shit that happens.